Well, got the Premier League back this weekend. Full slate of matches. No FA Cup, no Carabao Cup, no Champions League, no nothing. It's just Premier League football. Greatest league in the world. Let's get into it. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below that, Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. And friends of the podcast, this is the preview for match week 26 in the English Premier League. So, boys, how are we? Hello. Good day.
Good day. We'll see.
Good day.
Salutations.
Good day, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to do Australian accents. All right. If you're new here, please subscribe for more awesome Australian accents from Brad and Sean too. Sean too. Okay. We're in a
we just went straight.
Hit the subscribe button, sub notification bell. If you're on the podcast site, hit us with a follow, 5-star if your platform so allows. Leave a comment down below, join the Discord, all those things that people ask you to do. Also do those for us as well. I promise it's a good time. I mean, it's a good time.
You will have fun here.
Yeah, and
we do talk some footy.
I mean, don't take yesterday's episode as an indication for we had our annual F1 update yesterday. So if you're into F1,
biannual. Usually we check up. We check up mid-season.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually their mid-season break is during our off season, so we'll usually check in about mid-season break, see where we are.
Maybe we'll do more F1 coverage this year too. But we
depends on what happens.
We primarily talk football, but we also like soccer, football, Formula One, chess, all these kinds of things. So you'll definitely want to stick around for us and ring that sub notification bell so you get alerted to all of our new content as it comes. Okay, so what we have on offer tonight, we are going to look at match week 26. There are quite a few spicy matches this weekend that we're going to get into. So without further ado, the weekend kicks off on Saturday morning. We've got Manchester City and Newcastle United from the Etihad. We've got Arsenal hosting Bournemouth. Villa are hosting Crystal Palace. Brighton and Hove Albion welcome West Ham United to the South Coast. Chelsea and Leeds, that is quite the rivalry renewed, so that'll be a good one. Tottenham and maybe Antonio Conte will head to Wolves to head to the Molineux. Southampton and Leicester feature in our first relegation rumble. This one, and I quote you from my rundown, which was produced by one of these lovely gentlemen with me, is a relegation 72-pointer. 72 points.
You said it. Relegation rumble 72-pointer.
Okay, so Brad, I said our first relegation rumble. So
this is and to quote one of my favorite shows growing up, Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the points are made up and the scores are made up and the points don't matter.
There we go. Because what follows Southampton Leicester is our second relegation rumble. It's Nottingham Forest and Everton, and I kid you not, this is a relegation 108-pointer.
Oh, just for the fans, for the new fans in the house. All of this stemmed because Brad wanted to make everything a 6-pointer. And everything on the table can't be a 6-pointer. That's reserved for very specific games.
Yeah.
And Brad wanted to make everything a 6-pointer. So I just started making every game that we possibly could some multiple of 6-pointer because he's just making things up that it's a 6-pointer. So you know what? Why don't it be just a 12-pointer or 18-pointer or like we'll just make points up where all the scores are made up and the points don't matter.
You heard it here first. Sean hates the term relegation 6-pointer.
I hate it.
So hold on. Before I talk about the last two games, I want you to think about this. Just kind of let it marinate for a minute. Do you hate the phrase relegation 6-pointer more or less than home field advantage?
Ooh.
I will let that marinate.
All right. Also on Sunday, we've got Liverpool United versus Liverpool United. We got Liverpool versus Manchester United. Guys, I am struggling with words. So Liverpool host Manchester United from Anfield. That's a tasty one.
Very tasty.
Well, Liverpool are kind of coming back into form. I mean, notwithstanding that Real Madrid result.
Look, this is
or the Crystal Palace result.
This is for lack of a better word, right? Because Tammy will love this. It's Boston versus Yanks.
Yeah.
Like FSG.
Yeah.
You can get the dub here.
Yeah. So, and then rounding out the weekend on Monday is Brentford and Fulham.
A West London derby.
Yep, that's a good one. So that's what we've got on offer. That's what the Premier League has on offer for us this weekend. Where do you gentlemen want to start? Should we start Saturday morning, the early match?
Let's do it. I think we just run it down from top to bottom.
City Newcastle. Okay. So we've got the champions currently in second place, and Newcastle, who are in fifth place right now. They're a little bit
2 games in hand.
Yeah, they're
Tottenham.
They're a little bit raw because they just lost the League Cup final. RIP.
I think the very top down way to look at this without getting technical or tactical is you've probably got a fairly disappointed, pissed off Newcastle team.
Probably.
So how do they respond? How do they respond off losing the cup final versus a very let's be honest, we got to go on past year's experience, an out of form City team. This is a form, and I didn't even look at their run of form, but I'm sure it's not great. Yeah, they've got three wins in 5, including 1 loss.
Yeah.
So that's out of form for them, and they, that's not typical of them, and their season hasn't been very typical of them under Pep Guardiola. So does Newcastle get that bounce and they want to take out their aggression on City, or does City are Newcastle deflated?
I think.
And did they?
I think
so. That's a top down.
I think what we see from Newcastle in this match is a very similar game plan to what they employed against Arsenal when they went to the Emirates a couple weeks ago. Is that they want to slow down the game. They don't want to concede much space. Newcastle are the most defensive team, the most defensively resolute team in the league. They've given up the least number of goals
by a lot.
Yeah, it's substantial. They're very good. Like they have a great goalkeeper now. Nick Pope will still be suspended in this match, so that's not good for them. They'll have Dubravka in goal. Which is obviously a downgrade, but they've got a great back four, and they know what they do well and they execute it really well. Eddie Howe has them playing within their limits and playing to the maximum of their limits, I think, very well. So I think that they'll try and slow the game down. They'll try and frustrate City. Now, if it only takes Erling Haaland one chance and he can score a goal. So if City get an early goal. I think that would definitely make the game better because we've seen Newcastle when they want to play, when they want to assert themselves on the ball, they look good on it. Like against Liverpool when they were down to 10 men, in the League Cup final against United in the second half. Like they can play football there. I'm not trying to say that they're Chelsea from 05-06 and they only park the bus. Like they're good at defense, but they also like to play the ball. Maybe Almiron can give a clinic to Jack Grealish this week. And we'll see how that goes.
I was actually you hit the nail on the head of what I was about to say. You didn't steal my thunder, but their defensive prowess is not parking the bus.
Yeah,
it is controlling the ball.
Yep,
it is. We're going to get forward to make you get back, and then we're going to control the space.
Yeah.
It's very very unique in the way that they don't concede goals. From what I've seen in my history of watching football, is most times people that don't concede goals or teams that don't concede goals, they just park the bus and make it really congested and really hard to score against them. But this is a different tactic of we're going to control the ball, we're going to make you get back, and then we're going to control the ball and figure it out.
I think I'm not trying to cast aspersions on teams that park the bus necessarily, or like that style of football. But like if you always have the ball, like if my team always has the ball, you can't score on me, right? So like this is the possession based. I want to control the ball. I want to control the spaces. It's what the good teams do. It's what the teams that are very good at football do. The Barcelonas,
Exactly.
the Real Madrids, Arsenal this year,
Exactly.
City this year.
City every year, but yes.
Yeah. But you get my point. Like the teams,
Bayern.
when you control the ball, PSG, like these teams, Napoli this year is freaking ridiculously good at this. Is it when you control the ball
you
and you
can't get the ball off of them?
Yeah, and then when you lose the ball, I press you hard and I win it back quickly. That has been a sign of success. So I think it'll be a good game.
It should be a very good game. It's a great way to start the weekend too.
Absolutely.
I'm in for that. Do we want to do a prediction here? We're gonna wait for the Liverpool United game.
I think we predict the Liverpool United match.
I agree.
Okay.
All right. So should we move on to the levels match of Villa and Palace?
Yeah, this one's interesting.
Yeah.
I think Villa wins this match. I think Villa's on better form, in my opinion, than Crystal Palace.
Two Arsenal legends battling it out.
Yeah, Unai and Patrick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for it.
They're 4 points apart. There's 11th versus 12th.
Yeah, I mean, if Villa win this match, they go above Chelsea. So like that's incentive for Chelsea for Villa to get above Chelsea.
True, get in the top 10, get in the top half of the table.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the exact point totals off the top of my head with how far Villa would be away from 7th if they win this match. I think they go to like 34 points.
Yeah, so 2 points from Liverpool.
So I mean, they're within a shout of Europe of Conference League because United are probably going to finish in the top 4. It's like they're winning the Carabao Cup doesn't mean that they're going to the Conference League. So the Conference
they're at least finishing in the top 6. Yeah.
Oh, I think United's finishing in the top 4.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but chaos always happens. Like, look, you forget that every year at the end, the Premier League's funniest competition is the race for 4th, and everybody like, oh no. True. I got it. Oh no, I don't.
Yeah,
I got it. Oh no, I don't.
There is an aversion to finishing 4th in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I think Villa's just generally playing better right now.
I don't have anything tactically or substantially to add, but I do have a thought I had not very long ago that with a CDM room of Højbjerg, Bentancur, Bissoma, Skip, and Pop SR, how great would it be to have Patrick Vieira as a manager? Like with I think 5 or 6 guys I just named. Yeah, six guys I just named that all play fairly similarly.
Yeah,
and to each other, but not just to each other, but like they aren't as physically imposing as Patrick Vieira. But like having someone as crafty as him too, man, that would be a good. That would be he would never do it. I don't think he would do it.
That's a good question.
Would Patrick Vieira manage Tottenham?
I think
Jose
he would
come to Tottenham. I think he would.
I think he would because I think
that's a step up from Palace.
It is.
It is.
It is. And even though he is an Arsenal legend, he did leave Arsenal at, in the prime of his career. Like he went and played many years after Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's not like, do I think Thierry Henry could manage Tottenham? I don't think Henry would take a job at Tottenham.
But I don't think so. This is going to get very specific into my thoughts about legend managing or coaching or whatever, however you want to call it. But I think Thierry Henry's problem as a manager is that he understands his skill at a high level, his understanding of the game, of his particular body and what he can execute is at a higher level than what other people can execute, and he doesn't understand that. Well, why can't you do this half volley falling to the side?
So there's that funny video when he was the manager at I think Montreal.
That's what I'm calling on.
And he's like, can you play one touch? And the guy's like, well, yeah. And he's like, just didn't do it. Play one touch. Like, and so it's not, it's that kind of mentality.
I don't think Vieira has that. I think Vieira has a not endearing, but like
more nurturing.
nurturing
yeah.
of like you can be this.
This is how you get there.
You could. This is how you get there. I feel like it's more of that than Thierry Henry of like, why can't you do this?
Well, yeah, but and I think that probably comes from different roles, right? Box to box as opposed to the striker.
Yeah.
Like that, like they're how they
That's,
see the game.
That's unfair to Thierry Henry. Like we shouldn't poo-poo on the way he sees the game, but
no, not
but
at
like
all.
I think it translates to a manager a whole lot better.
In Thierry's defense, he hasn't gotten a legitimate chance yet. He had an impossible job at Monaco. He got fired after 3 months at Monaco. And so like that wasn't a real chip. And then he had the job at Montreal, but then COVID hit, and like he didn't see his family for like 13 months, and he's like, I need to get back to my family. So like he hasn't had a real chance. He might get the Belgium job. That'll be interesting.
I am not poo-pooing on Henry at all, but
no, not at all. That's not what I was. That's not. I don't think that's what any of us are saying. I was just saying like he sees the game differently. He's been at Belgium as the assistant, so like that'd be cool if he applied for it on LinkedIn when it was open.
But that was my only thing I had to add to this game was Patrick Vieira managing our room of center defensive mids because they especially Bentancur probably plays more like Vieira than anybody else, where he's smooth on the ball but very physical as well.
Yeah, probably.
Højbjerg's just kind of like a freight train. Where I remember Vieira being a little bit more smoother technique. He's just smooth elegant with the ball. Elegant. Elegant's a great word to describe him, and Bentancur is very much like that.
Yeah, he'll elegantly dribble past you and then punch you in the mouth, and then punch you in the mouth when you do something wrong.
Yeah.
Brad, take us to Stamford Bridge, the chaos that is Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah. I think I said this after the pod last night after we stopped recording. You know what would be the most fuck it or Chelsea thing is that we lose to Leeds and then absolutely dominate Dortmund the next week in Europe. Not saying that's gonna happen. I'm gonna predict a Chelsea win because I think I always predict a Chelsea win. But like, let's be real, that'd be the most fuck it or Chelsea thing to have happen. Like, and throughout all of this chaos, we end up in a semifinal in the Champions League or a final in the Champions League.
It would be the quarters. We're around of 16 right now.
Well, he's saying that like if Chelsea
so we're going on a run.
Going on a run, yeah.
To be fair, winning the Champions League is the only way that you're going to be in the Champions League next year.
Yeah. Which, hey,
you need an unprecedented. It would actually once precedented Newcastle like rise from last year. You would need that to make it into Champions League at this point.
Hey, look,
because Newcastle went from 20th to 11th last year in the second half. Yeah. They were just outside the top 10, and Chelsea would need a very similar rise, which is more difficult on the top half than it is the bottom half.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's harder to do that on the top half. Yeah, everybody else is also winning.
Chelsea are currently 14 points off fourth with a game in hand. Yes. But if Newcastle were to win both of their games in hand, they would be what is that? They'd be
17,
47. Yeah, they'd be 16 points away. If they won their game, they'd be 14 points away from Newcastle. What?
Huh? They have 2 games in hand. Newcastle has 2 games in hand, which means they have 1 game in hand against Chelsea.
Yeah.
So then you just add 3 points from 14 to 17.
Yes, but okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Are you with me? Are you with me on my math?
No, because Newcastle's point total would be different than what Tottenham's currently at, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
so they're currently 14 points away from Tottenham.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah. So
I wasn't looking at the table. I was just doing the math.
Yeah. So
I'm with you.
14 points with 13 games to play.
It's 13 points off. 13 points off of fourth if all games in hand are won.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. Yeah, Champions League is out. So like, I don't think we've talked about this week. The Potter out stuff. It's Potter in because like, who's coming in and how are they going to save us by getting us Conference League?
Okay,
no.
So okay. Let's I think it would be stupid to fire Potter right now.
Yeah.
Are you entertaining this idea in the summer? At the end of the season, what if you could get a Zidane? What if you could get a Luis Enrique?
No.
Okay.
No.
The only one would be the Bayern dude, Flick. Maybe. But even then, it's a brand new, like, then we're falling into the same chaos as the Roman era. Like, pick the guy, let's see what this guy can do.
Yes and no. I mean, I think it would be unfair to fire Potter in the summer as well. I think you should give him more time. And I don't say that as like a meme lol kind of thing. I mean it as like he didn't get a preseason. You guys, your squad is astronomically large. You need to trim it down, get him the players that he wants to have, get the players who want to be out of Chelsea, out of the club, and then give him a preseason to cook. But like if Jose Mourinho is available in the summer, does that calculus change?
I love Jose. Joel asked me, hold on. No, I'm not. No, it's still Graham Potter in. But I love Jose. But wait, Joel asked me a question today. Let me see. What did he propose? Hold on, I gotta find it. All right. Stupid scenario. Win the Champions League and get relegated, or finish 17th and no trophies.
That's easy.
It was what's his edit? Hold on, no. The original question was win the Champions League and get relegated and Jose comes home, or finish 17th and no trophies. Like,
I feel like we
Champions League, right?
I feel like we already asked this.
You're taking the Champions League and then a year of championship football?
I'm kidding. No, because then it completely ruins the project. No, I don't. I want. I told him as long as we're not relegated, Graham Potter is in for next season.
That was your point. That was your point in yesterday's episode as well, or Monday, Wednesday's episode, whatever it was.
So he was trying to tempt me with the Champions League win because I told it to him. I was like, look, this is gonna be the most effort for Chelsea thing is that we're gonna win the Champions League this year, and we're having such a terrible season. So that was his response.
Do you think you're gonna beat Leeds?
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
I am optimistic that we can figure out how to get the ball in the net because we're shooting the ball. There are shots going, whether they're good shots or not. We're shooting the ball.
I said that earlier this week that I was thoroughly impressed with João Felix. That he's just slippery, and then he puts his foot on the ball and it goes towards the net. Yeah. Like Fraser Forster had, honestly, like last week, Fraser Forster had a good game, but there were saves to be made. Yeah. He just made them. He made them. Yeah. Which was good. Like, and you expect that of a Premier League backup. There were saves to be made, which should make you happy as a Chelsea fan. Mm-hmm. Because there hasn't been a lot of saves to be made.
Yeah.
From opposing goalkeepers. Yeah. Just shoot the ball.
Well, we've been shooting the ball. We just haven't hit the net yet. We had like 80 shots and like 4 goals or something stupid like that.
Yeah, but you should be looking at on target.
Right, I'm with you.
If you're just booting it.
Our XG, I think even in the Tottenham game, our XG was super similar between the two teams. That's
okay.
That's good.
That's good.
That's like a highlight. That's a good thing. But now that's like, we won the XG battle. Like,
no.
We lost.
No, I'm agreeing with you. With you. That is good because like João Felix is he's getting the ball. He's cutting back a little bit, taking a shot. You want that. Like make the goalie work. Make the goalie work.
We're made things are happening. Ball's not going in the net, and at the end of the day, ball's got to go in the net against Leeds.
Eventually. That's the whole point of XG is if you do this enough times, the ball's going in the back of the net.
Yes. And that's how, this is what happens with Graham Potter teams. Like, I think I said this 2 or 3 years ago when he was with Brighton and they had a huge XG and nothing happened, right? Like, I think I've been on this Graham Potter train for a while.
Well,
James, how much did we batter that? Well, who's the striker for Brighton?
Oh, Neil Maupay?
He's the worst. Oh my God, Maupay's such a terrible striker.
Oh, then was it not Brighton?
Yes, Maupay got sold to Everton this year.
It's just he's just banging shots and nothing's going in. No, it was Leeds. It was Leeds. It was Bamford.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Chelsea.
It wasn't Brighton.
Okay.
But Malpe was the same.
I had a question that I was going to ask you before that monologue you went on, but I can't remember. So we're going to move on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Quickly, let's touch on these relegation matches just very briefly. So Southampton, Leicester, and Forest, Everton. Leicester, Southampton. It feels hard to pick a winner in that match.
It doesn't. This is a Leicester saying we're not a relegation team.
I agree with you, but Leicester are so all over the place this year that like,
yeah,
I want to say yes. Like I think Leicester should win this game 4-0. Like they have the players. They have the players to win the game 4-0.
Like if you just looked at the teams and you didn't look at the table and you didn't know any form, you'd be like, Leicester's winning this. Easy clap.
Yeah.
But
I think this is a Leicester says we're not a relegation team. This is not a relegation battle.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Does Madison play?
Yeah.
Does Madison hurt? If Madison plays, then Leicester wins. If Madison doesn't play, Leicester doesn't win.
They do.
I generally agree with you, Sean, but I won't be surprised if this is a cagey affair. Now, Forest Everton.
That's the one, right? That's the one at Nottingham.
Yeah, like I'm confused by this match. Like I think about
Forest
this match.
sits higher than Leicester right now on the table, by the way, by a point.
But they seem worse to me. I don't know. Like
yeah, but I think having Navas in the goal, I'm going Forest here. I mean, it's still Sean Dyche, and Sean Dyche will do Sean Dyche things. It's 4-4-2. But
it's 4-4 fucking 2.
Oh yeah.
Get it right.
Ooh.
Get
bad.
Get it right.
My bad.
Got a direct quote Daishi. You would assume Forest at home. They seem to be on a pretty decent run of form in terms. They got a result against City. Now they did just get dunked by West Ham, but I don't know. Like it seems to me that you would look at this and you'd say Forest should win this game. But there's something about this Everton team since Sean Dyche came in that like they're playing more organized. They look more assured with what they're doing.
There's a plan.
Yeah, right. Like there's an identity.
Like a 4-4-2 is very easy to manage and it's very easy to see the plan.
Yeah,
go do it. Yeah.
This is a hard one to pick the winner on though. Wow, Forest's goal difference is -24. That's bananas. They're the second worst goal difference in the division.
I mean, -15 is right up there.
Okay, -15 is very different than -24. It's 9 better. I'm just saying, like
they give up a lot of goals, but Nottingham Forest has scored one more goal than Everton. This is a crapshoot. This is a draw. I'm calling a draw. One point.
There's a winner here. There's a winner here. I can't see who it is. 1 point.
It's a draw. I'm calling it. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a very cagey affair. I think this is going to be a very.
I don't know.
Lingard. This has Lingard brace written all over it.
You know, I feel like this game could end like 3-2 or something like that. I feel like this is a game that could be just wild. I think
this game is going to be wild, but end 0-0.
All right. I hope not.
I think some craziness is going to happen. It's going to be 0-0.
I hope not.
Yeah.
All right. Let's round out this conversation. We got Liverpool, Manchester United. These are the traditionally the two biggest clubs in English football. At Anfield, probably one of the most storied grounds in England, if not the most storied ground in England.
The best home field advantage in the Premier League.
Except for Goodison Park, obviously.
100%. I'm not bad.
So Liverpool United are they're playing exceptionally well. I mean, like let's call it what it is. United are up to third. They've just won the Carabao Cup. Liverpool, on the other hand, are not. This is their worst season in 10 years or something like that. They're not playing well right now. How do you guys see this one?
At some point, Salah has to remember that he earned all that money by playing football at an exceptional level. So at some point, he has to remember that.
You would think,
right?
He got that money. That's him going to his ATM machine, taking out that money. I didn't score, still got paid.
He got the bag and doesn't care anymore.
He got the bag.
He's Bradley Beal. Did you just say he's Bradley Beal?
Because that was, I'm not misremembering this, right? This was this past offseason. He got his ridiculous contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was not as ridiculous as he wanted it to be, but it was still like at over $300K a week, right?
Yeah.
It was over 300,000 a week. Yeah.
It broke Liverpool's wage structure.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he deserved it. Hey,
no,
get your money, man.
No, and I'm not even like in get your money land of like I will never hate on a person for getting as much money as they possibly can.
Agreed.
I'm not even in that land. He deserves it. He's won he's won the Golden Boot three times. But he's still in form. Well, up until this year.
Oh,
but
I push back
at the time of up until the contract was signed, he was still in form.
I don't know. I feel
it's just been this season in particular has not been a good one for him.
I feel like the back half of last season flows really well into his form this season. I feel like the last year or so he has not been playing to Mo Salah levels.
I'm just putting myself in Liverpool's hierarchy's thought process of, okay, this guy over the past 3 years has produced X, Y, and Z. He deserves this, and this is fair market value. I'm just trying to go down that thought process of he's got a Golden Boot in the last 3 years. He still produced last year. He produced this year. The last 6 months haven't been great, but this is fair market value. Here's the contract. I don't blame them for that.
You know what's funny though? This is like, I put up his stats real quick, right? Through all competitions, he has played 35 games, has 19 goals. I'm like, bro, you're off track. But he's had 8 in the Champions League and 8 in the Premier League.
That's the problem. Is that like that? I think he scored a hat trick in the Champions League. I feel like I think he got some silly goals in the Champions League. But the problem is that like 8 goals in the Premier League from Mo Salah on 300K is not what they expect from him.
Here's continue. Sorry, I'll wait till you're done talking.
It's just it feels like the reason that contributes to where Liverpool are this year. I'm not trying to put it solely on Mo Salah. Like I think that's unfair. They've had a lot of injuries. Losing Diaz early in the season has hurt them tremendously. But I mean, Liverpool's
I don't think it's unfair.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't think it's unfair. I think when you're the highest, yes, it should be part of the topic, but not solely the hammer that goes on top of his head.
Yeah.
It should be part of the burden of like, okay, we've paid you this money. We expect production.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's disrespectful to pull up.
Here's my question.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be something to crucify him.
Yeah.
Can Klopp get Liverpool up for games that aren't rivalry games, right? Because clearly they should be up for this United game. Can Klopp only get his team motivated for Champions League? Like, have they been so successful at the league? Like, they're like, we should win this game because we're Liverpool, and then they're not.
That's a good question.
Like, can Klopp get them motivated? And
I would be curious to have FSG Group send their trainers from Boston at the Red Sox facility, send them to Liverpool and have them treat the Liverpool players. And the only reason I say this is because injuries have been a problem for them for the past 3 or 4 years. And it's always we've got injuries here. We're playing Harvey Elliott. He's 19. Like that's always the excuse. Okay. So let's put different trainers in here.
Hey, yeah.
Like it's always the excuse. It is a legitimate, like I will say it is a reason, not an excuse. When you have even with you, Brad, I will say the same. I will say the same thing. It is a reason, not an excuse. Injuries are a reason.
Yeah.
But when it happens multiple years in a row, you have to address the problem.
Yep.
So address it's happened multiple years in a row with Liverpool.
Yep.
So address the problem. Either get depth or get a better training staff. One of the two.
Do both.
Do both.
Do both.
You're Liverpool. Do both.
But if you're not addressing the problem.
Yeah. What's your question, Brad?
Who's winning the game?
United.
It's United. Yeah, we said it at the same time. It's United. It's 3-1.
That's exactly
disrespectful.
That's exactly the score I thought it was.
Wow.
I was going with.
And it's disrespectful too.
Wow.
It's Liverpool get an early goal and Man United score like it's an early goal like 27 to make it 1-0. Anfield's crazy. United tie it in like the 35th and quiet the crowd. And then it's like
second half.
The last two are like 70, 75 and just put it away.
Wow.
That's not necessarily the I think I'm going with, I don't want to say United dominance, but like I think United assert themselves, they score a couple goals, Liverpool pull one back, and then Liverpool United hit them on the break or something like that late for a third goal. But
wow.
For a backbreaker.
I'm gonna be contrarian here.
You think Liverpool's gonna win?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay. Well,
just to be contrarian, I don't have a reason.
I mean, you should be. I mean, who should you be rooting for as a Chelsea fan?
Oh, United.
Well, the question is, do you want?
But does it matter? No.
Do you want to? The question is, do you want to catch United or do you want to stay pace with Liverpool?
I want 8th.
I want 8th. If you could take 4th, would you take 4th?
Sure. Yes. I want 4th or 8th.
Then you want Liverpool to win.
Yeah. All right. What's up? You said that means
we got the most. So we got the most. We were ending with the West London Derby. We got the most informed team in the Premier League versus Fulham. Brentford haven't lost in 5.
Yo, the more interesting thing is the news that's broken recently about Brentford striker Ivan Toney. That's the more interesting thing than
he's pleading guilty to most of the charges, but not all of the charges.
Oh, hold on.
Okay,
that is not the most informed team.
Oh, fighting words.
They have not lost in 5, but they have not scored more than Tottenham in the last 5.
Okay.
Tottenham's lost. That's okay.
Tottenham have 12 points of the last 5. Brentford had 9 points in the last 5. The most informed team in the last 5 is Tottenham.
Stellini's got the boys playing.
So I want to correct you on that.
Oh, okay.
Just because there's a loss in there doesn't mean we didn't win the other 4.
And we got Tim Ream being a dominant defender in the Premier League. He's like one of the most informed defenders as well. I think Fulham have only given up like a couple of goals since the World Cup.
Yeah, Tim Ream's a beast.
I got a fun fact that is going to be roundabout if you guys will allow me to roundabout.
Why not? We'll end with it.
Okay. This is
so
wrapping this up.
Something came up today about the first ever AP poll in college basketball history. And the first ever AP poll came in 1948-49 season.
Okay.
And the number 1 ranked team was St. Louis Billikens.
Okay.
At that time, they were the number 1 ranked team in the nation and the first ever poll for college basketball. So I went to look to see famous basketball players. So I looked famous basketball players from that era. What I found out, Tim Ream played soccer.
No.
At St. Louis University.
No.
What?
It pulled all famous athletes from the college, not just basketball players. And not only that, but Brian McBride as well.
Wow.
Apparently not together, obviously.
They played
Brian McBride.
They played in the 40s there? In
1948? These are famous athletes to come through St. Louis University.
I'm making a joke that Tim Ream is old.
Yes. Brian McBride and Tim Ream both played soccer at St. Louis University, which I thought was really cool.
They must have like a soccer program like back in the 90s that was like
they must have
80s.
had like a bang. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you should hit us with trivia there. You should have been like, which Premier League defender played at St. Louis University?
That was so openly vague. There was no way. There was no way to make a trivia that anybody was gonna get. There's no amount of hints I would be able to give anybody.
No. All right. Well, that's all we got for you guys. It should be a good weekend of games. Definitely let us know in the comments what you're looking forward to, which games you'll be watching. Because there's a good slate of games. So definitely is a great weekend for football in the Premier League. If you're still following along through this episode and you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, now would be a beautiful time to do it. Ring the sub notification bell, share it with a friend. If you're on the podcast site, hit it with a follow, 5-star review if you can. We like those a lot.
We'll read them out loud.
Yeah, Brad's still waiting. It looks like he's furiously checking. Oh, just waiting. I am. Okay.
We don't. Right. We don't. We're good.
None for this week. All right, cool. So, do all those things. We'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on Twitter. This guy right here on top with me is at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany, and we can be reached collectively at redcard_radio. Check back next week. We will have a review, the news, and a preview all again next week. Until then, enjoy some football, and we will see you and talk to you guys soon.